All right, so welcome to this week's training. For those of you in the Zoom room, welcome. For those of you on Facebook watching live or on the replay, that's amazing too. Please make sure you pop into the chat where you're tuning in from. I love reading all of that later. So whether you're in the Zoom chat or whether you're on the Facebook Live in the comments or in the Facebook community in the comments, that'd be great. I love to see all of that. And I want to know how many of you are here today for this winning workshops training? Because you really want to be able to make money teaching and training something that you love, that you know and love, to other people. Raise your hand if that sounds like you. Awesome. Yes. And thank you. And raise your hand too if you would love to be able to earn like 5 figures or even 6 figures. What if you could do it in as little as a week, teaching or training what you love? Like, how amazing would that be, right? So what I want to share with you today is exactly how you're going to be able to do that. It is through the power of workshops and trainings. And this is material that I've learned, and this methodology and this framework that I'm going to teach you today is actually something that I learned almost 7 years ago when I first dove into the world of teaching and training online. And so I want you to know, if you raised your hand to making 5 figures in as little as a week, doing and teaching what you love, it is totally 100% possible. And if you just know you want to help other people and you want to be able to teach what you love and have some time and money freedom, then you are absolutely in the right place today. We're here for the winning workshops training, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to turn your content, right, your workshop and teaching and training content, into clients, so you can build a big business. You can make a difference in the life of the clients that you're waiting to serve. And you can also make a difference in your own life by being able to be profitable and make more money. So I also want to take a second to, acknowledge you for being here today. It's nice to see you in the Zoom room, Andres, and did you just, have you pop your name and who you're from in the chat? If you've just hopped online, I'd love to be able to know what you do, so I can give examples if possible that might relate to your industry or your niche or what you're doing. So I love to be able to provide examples for the people that are watching. If you're on Facebook, and you want to hop into the Zoom room, there is a link there. You can look back in my very last post that had the Zoom link. So if you want to hop into the Zoom room with us, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, pop your questions in the Facebook comments. I'll be circling back to go and respond to you as well in the Facebook community. So Barry from north of Boston, in marketing strategy and fundraising consultant. Okay, awesome. Nice to have you here, Barry. I appreciate you popping in. So yes, acknowledging you for being here and taking some time out of your busy schedule, right? There's, I'm sure, a lot of things you could be doing right now. It's it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast. It's 5 p.m. on the East Coast. If you're somewhere else in the world where the time is a little bit different, you'll have to do your world clock calculations on your own. But wherever you are, you're tuning in because you want to learn a little bit about your business. You want to gain some skills and some knowledge, and you could be doing a whole bunch of other things, right? You could be watching TV. You could be playing with your kids. You could be at the office, but you took the time out of your schedule to be here. So I want to make sure that my commitment to you is to give you the best of the best in what I have to serve up today. And 6 p.m. in Venezuela. Okay, not that much off of me. I'm 5 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States right now. So let's get started with today's training. But before we do, I'd love to share with you just a little bit about how I became an expert to teach and train in this. I've been teaching, training, and delivering seminars, workshops, for well over 20 years. I was doing it as a financial advisor for over 13 years, one-on-one with my clients. I would host lunch and learns and other types of workshops while I was working in that industry. And also for the last 7 years as an independent entrepreneur, teaching people how to use these tools a little bit more effectively, right? When you can use your tools a little bit more effectively, you can turn them into a really lucrative, profitable business. And if you've never heard me train before, you know that I'm traveling the world. I am currently in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm en route to Florida to spend a little time in the sun. And I'm super grateful and blessed that I'm able to do that, because I'm able to hop online and still do my weekly trainings and run my business, because I've created that freedom-based, lifestyle-based business by being able to turn my trainings into a lucrative career for myself that's location independent. I was always having this dream of being my toes in sand, phone in hand, laptop lifestyle plan, right? I love to head south in the winter. I love the beach. If I could just be in a sundress and flip-flops for the whole rest of my life, I would never get bored of that. So I'm super excited and grateful that I get to do that. But most of you know, it wasn't always that way for me, right? I was for over 13 years a financial advisor. And not only was I in Canada and had to stay there, but I was also very geographically locked down to my one province, because you can only work in the province that you're licensed in. So it was very restrictive. And I always dreamed of this freedom-based lifestyle. And it wasn't until I learned better marketing skills that I was able to make the leap from a struggling financial advisor into a lucrative self-employed marketing business. And I did this by using better marketing tools. I've written and published several books, and I now teach and coach other entrepreneurs how they can use tools like writing a book, speaking and training and teaching not only your own workshops, but on other people's stages, right? So using summits and live stages to be able to up level your authority and your expert positioning and really bring clients back into your world. I teach people how to use speaking to grow your business, right? So how to get on podcasts and other platforms. Who's down with OPP? Yeah, you know me, right? So it's all about using a book, using speaking, and using teaching and training, those kind of three pillars of really being positioned as a thought leader in your space, an expert that people want to learn from. And it's through those tools that I've been able to create this business. So if you're struggling at all with course creation, with how to design a signature program that works for you, how to craft your offers that people want to buy, how to deliver trainings that really get people engaged and participating and moving down your sales funnel, then you're 100% absolutely in the right place. And if I can do it, as 13 years of struggling in the financial services sector, if I can learn these marketing tools and grow a big, huge business, I swear you can do it too. The best part is it doesn't take a ton of expertise and knowledge. What it does is takes a few simple tools that you're going to need to learn. One, right? You need to learn them. Two, you need to use them. And three, you're going to need to get good at them in order to make this all work for you. So that's a little bit about me. So is it okay with you right now if pop a yes in the chat or in the comments, or raise your hand if it's okay with you if I give you my 9 secrets that I have to share with you today about how to do a winning workshop? Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Yes. So let's get started. So secret number 1 to becoming a powerful workshop leader, a teacher, a trainer, and being able to influence your audience to take another step and keep showing up for your trainings and move through your sales funnel is, and it's maybe a bit of a cliche and a bit overused word right now, but it truly is really, really, really important. And that's, you need to be authentic. So secret number 1 is being authentic. It's really hard if you're trying to be someone else to keep that up for any length of time, right? And so you need to be able to come into your own style. Now, that doesn't mean you're not learning some tips, tricks, and resources from other trainers, other teachers. But what I'd love for you to do is, think about some of the people that you most relate to, that you might be following in your industry, and think about the things that they do. In all likeliness, you're attracted to them because they're somewhat like you, right? You relate to them on some level. So maybe those are the people that you could go and learn from, so that you can learn the skills that they're teaching, but then come back to your audience and deliver those in a way that's authentically you, right? You'll see, at using me even as an example. I don't use a lot. Andres, you've been here on many, many, many of my trainings. I don't often use slides and PowerPoints. Why? Because I feel like, first of all, they're boring as heck. There's nothing worse than just watching somebody as a trainer reading from slide to slide to slide to slide. Like, it's torture, right? It's that idea of death by PowerPoint. It kills me. I don't love PowerPoint. Not to mention, as a trainer, especially online, when I share screen, I can't see the faces of the people that are here with me. And thank you, Andres, for recognizing that, right? I don't follow a script. Can you also tell I'm not like, I have notes in front of me, don't get me wrong, because I don't want to forget things that I want to say, but I'm not like following a memorized script, right? I've got a series of points that I know I want to cover, that I've thought out and prepared with examples. But mostly I'm teaching, I'm engaging my audience, right? I'm asking you questions when you're here. I'm getting you to participate and raise your hand. And that's just mostly authentically me. And it allows you as a trainer to gauge what your audience is feeling, to see their reactions, right? So being authentic is really, really important. And I want you to know that it's okay wherever you are. Some people think, oh my gosh, I need a certification to go speak on stage, or I need to have some sort of a degree, or credentials to be able to teach. And we're not talking about school here, right? We're talking about online trainings or real world trainings where you can help your client achieve a result. And that's truly the most important and the most authentic part of your training is, have you either achieved this result for yourself? Have you helped somebody else do it? And in the world of your industry, can you see other people teaching similarly that material or that content? That's all you really need to step on stage, or step into a Zoom room, right? Or step onto a one-on-one call with a potential client, and really just be you and let them know where you've come from, right? What you've accomplished in your life and why you think you can help them. And when you come from that place of genuine, authentic service where you just want to help somebody achieve a result, you don't need all those degrees and accreditations behind you. You need a servant heart. You need the ability to be able to help somebody transform, and you're off to the races. So that is secret number one, right? I want you to pop it in the chat right now, right? That I am authentic. Write that in the chat for me. That's your declaration for this secret. And I want you to repeat that to yourself, right? I am authentic. That's right, Andres. Thank you. And, remember that as you go to become a world-class trainer. So secret number two, let's pop that in right now. And secret number two is to standardize your introduction. Okay? Because would you agree with the statement that you only get one chance to make a good first impression, right? And especially if you're just starting out, when you first start training, especially, this is where most trainers kind of mess it up. Why? Because it's that moment where you're a little bit nervous, right? You're stepping into the spotlight, you're hitting record. You guys know me, if you've been on this training, I kind of fumble around with the recording stuff. So I never really start my presentation until after I've got all the recording stuff set up, so I can take a deep breath and I can reground myself and I can go, okay, I'm ready to rock and roll and begin, right? So when you standardize your introduction, not only does it allow you to ease into a framework that you know you're going to do every single time, but it gives you that confidence, right? That confidence to know that if you get nervous, if something happens, if the tech goes out, that you've got those steps memorized. You're ready to rock and roll, and you don't have to worry. It's when your fear is the highest, leaning into a framework is the best strategy you can use for yourself. So the good thing is you only need to prep it and practice it a couple of times before you should be ready to go. And then it just becomes natural. You use the exact same formula every single time, and it's a formula. And I'm going to go over a few of the more intricate parts to the formula coming up in the next couple of secrets. So the next few secrets are really going to be what lays the foundation for you for this introduction that's going to set you up for success. So remember, having a well planned out, strategized, and standardized introduction is really the key to eliminating your fear as a trainer, and also allaying the possible fears of the audience, that they're in the right room, right? That they trust in you as a trainer, that they understand that they're going to receive value. So let's dive in a little bit to that right now. But before that, I want you to pop in the chat right now your declaration for that, right? I systematize and I memorize my introduction. That's your declaration for secret number 2. And I know Andres will be typing. He's always taking action whenever I say, you're such a good student, Andres. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for always playing full out. All right, so let's go to secret number 3, which is also part of this introductory formula, right? I systematize and memorize my introduction. Yeah, high fives for Andres. Woo-hoo. You are an amazing trainer. So let's go to secret number 3, which is I want you to always start every workshop with 2 enrolling questions. And this strategy, this secret actually works whether it's a workshop. It works great for trainings that you do on social media. Like if you are doing, I'm doing a Reels challenge, for example, right now. And so it's like starting with enrolling questions is almost a little bit like the hook, right? When you want to entice the person who's there and get them in agreement with what they're going to learn today, right? So if you remember back to when I opened up the training here, if you were on at the beginning, if not, go back and watch the recording. You'll see how I opened the meeting, which is with 2 enrolling questions, right? Like how many of you are here because you want to create workshops, teaching and training what you love, right? And making a good income doing it. That was enrolling question number 1. Enrolling question number 2 was all about what if you could actually make 5 figures in as little as 5 days, or even $100,000 in a weekend teaching and training what you love, right? And so the purpose of 2 enrolling questions is to ask your audience questions that will 99.9% garner a yes from the audience, right? So it's usually based upon a result that they want that's based around the training that you're about to deliver, right? So you're here to learn about how to do winning workshops and create content in trainings that convert into clients. So if that's the topic and it drew you here to this presentation, then I know you want to teach, right? So I know by saying, hey, do you want to teach and earn money teaching what you love? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a yes to that question. So the idea is to ask 2 enrolling questions where the audience is going to be in their head saying yes. Better yet, you've gotten them to take an action, right? Raise their hand, say yes in the chat. and you want them to be affirmative to these two questions, which is why they're called enrolling questions. You're enrolling them into what they're about to learn. So a very important part of your introduction is to make sure that you ask these enrolling questions, get your audience saying yes, nodding their head in agreement. And it also helps, again, allay their fears that they're in the right room, right? They're like, yeah, I want to learn that. So I'm going to stay. I'm going to listen. I'm going to consume the content, right? And then hopefully you're going to get your audience taking action, because we don't want a bored audience that's falling asleep, right? We want people participating, playing in the audience. So that is secret number 3. Right? So the first words out of your mouth should be about them. What do they want? What are the goals that they are getting, right? And it can also be, your enrolling questions can be about something that they don't want, right? I prefer to use the positive in that first couple of questions, but it could also be, wouldn't it be amazing if you could get those results without all the overwhelm, right? Without it being difficult? Wouldn't it be great if you had the formula to do it? So whatever those 2 questions are, just make sure that they're a yes answer to your audience. Okay. So what do you think your declaration is for this secret, right? Your declaration is, I always start my talks, right? Workshops, webinars, summits, social media videos. I always start my talks with 2 enrolling questions. Pop that in the chat right now, or in Facebook if you're playing along with me there. And then we will move on to number 4. So I always start my talk with 2 enrolling questions. Yes, thank you, Andres. You're awesome. So number 4, the number 4 secret to becoming a world-class trainer and running winning webinars that convert into clients is to always thank your audience for participating. Okay? Always thank your audience and say thank you. So this can happen actually not just in your introduction, but it happens actually all throughout your training and your workshops. So you'll see at the beginning of the training of this workshop, I did it when I acknowledged you and said thank you to you for just being here, right? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here, to spend it with me instead of with your dog, your kids, your family, your spouse, doing something else that you could be doing. So that's the very first thank you that you start with. Your first thank you starts in the introduction, when you acknowledge your audience for doing something great, right? For showing up to the training. But then you'll also notice that I say thank you a lot throughout the training. So anytime somebody pops in an answer in the chat when I ask for you to participate, I thank and acknowledge you for doing that. Right? Andres is the #1 rock star when I ask him to participate. He's always doing it. Right? So you want to thank your audience for participating. Why? Because it makes them feel good, for 1. For 2, right? Absolutely. See, I even said it and you said it all at the same time. You were typing it before I even said it. You want to make your audience feel good. You want to acknowledge them for taking the action steps. You want to acknowledge the positive behavior so that they keep doing the positive behavior. Right? So if you want your participants to engage, then thank them for doing that. Make sure that you're acknowledging the positive behavior and reinforcing that positive behavior so the behavior continues. And whether that's thanking your audience and your participants for answering and participating in the chat is one way you can acknowledge. Acknowledging and thanking your audience when you're at the beginning of your talk, like I said, for acknowledging them and thanking them just for being there. And maybe you can think of a few other ways that you can thank your audience, right? Thank them for raising their hand, for doing any of the action steps that you ask them to do. This is when you want to encourage that and reinforce that behavior, and use that secret number 4, which is always thanking your audience to your advantage, so that you continue to get an audience that comes back. They feel grateful for you. They feel acknowledged by you, right? They feel like you care about their well-being and their what they're learning in the training. So that's a really important piece of not only your introduction, but something that you're going to carry throughout all of your workshops and your trainings. So it's time for a declaration and acknowledgement. You know how to do this, especially Andres. So pop it in the chat. The declaration for secret number 4, I always thank my audience, right? Super important. I always thank my audience when they respond, right? When they do as I ask, I always thank my audience. Thank you, Andres. Thanks for always playing full out. You're amazing. All right, so we are more than halfway through the training and we're less than halfway through the hour. So yay, look at me, I'm on time for once. This is amazing. So let's move on to secret number 5 of the winning workshops to create content that converts. And yes, very nice to see you, Latara, in the Zoom room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay. So number 5. So number 5 story is almost like I just kind of blended number 4 and number 5. So number 5 is actually acknowledge. So number 4 was thank you. Number 5 is acknowledge, right? And they're kind of a blend of each of the same secret. So and it's again all about rewarding behavior that you want. So the acknowledgement at the beginning, especially in the introduction, is the most important one, right? Thanking for people for showing up, letting them know you're grateful to have them there, right? I do these trainings every week. Imagine how that's a commitment I made to myself for my business. It's also a commitment I made to my audience and the people that are following me. I'm committed to teaching and training every single week for this whole year because I have big business goals that I'm going after. And I want to take as many people along with me who want to learn better marketing skills, who want to learn better teaching skills, who want to learn how to speak, whether it's on podcasts, on stages, right? On summits. I host a summit where I open the door for people to actually participate and create a platform for them to speak on, right? If you want to write a book, I help people do that. So for me, I'm putting on trainings every week. Imagine if there was never anybody ever in the room, right? Butts and seats, raise your hand if you do any trainings. And one of the biggest challenges you have is filling your event and getting people to show up for your trainings. It's something I see all the time in the world of marketing. And, you know, sometimes it just takes time. People need to know that you are putting on trainings. You need to be consistent in your training delivery. So that's something I'm working on this year, is that I'm consistently going to show up week after week after week. Whoever shows up in the room gets their questions answered. It's amazing. And for those who aren't here, I'm creating a digital vault of trainings I can send people to when they do come into my community. So what kind of trainings can you be doing where you're bringing in your community, you're acknowledging them for being there, right? And you're making them feel warm, you're making them feel welcome. You're building a community and a camaraderie of people who are interested in what you have to sell, what you have to teach rather, so that hopefully they're going down your path, right? Your customer journey path to becoming a paying client. So yeah, so acknowledge, keep it simple, do it at the beginning, do it throughout your presentation, and make sure that you're rewarding the behavior that you want your audience to do while they're on your trainings, right? So I want to thank you, Andres, for always participating. Latara, you show up a lot on my trainings too, so it's nice to always have some familiar faces that you're not just talking to a camera, right? So thanks for always showing up and being so awesome. So number 5, the declaration statement for secret number 5 is I acknowledge my audience when they do as I ask, right? That was number 5, acknowledge. I acknowledge my audience when they do as I ask. So let's see what we're at. That was part of the introduction. Okay, now the next 2 pieces are really, really, really important too. So secret number 6 in the winning workshops training, where creating content that converts, is really being able to nail what in the speaking and training world is called your ETR. Right? Does anyone know what ETR stands for? No? Okay. ETR, write this down. It stands for earn the right. So this is essentially the who you are, the what you do, your credentials, right? What gives you the right to be the speaker at the front of the room? Now, I do my earn the right in a storytelling format, right? If you've been on any of my trainings before, it's my memorized. I change it up a tiny little bit, but it's in 10 seconds, it's I'm traveling the world, living my best laptop lifestyle life, but it wasn't always that way, right? I was a financial advisor. I sucked at marketing. I learned all of these skills, and now I'm super passionate about teaching it to other people. So if I can come out of 13 years as a financial advisor, not doing well at marketing, then, and I could learn it, you can learn it too. That's my 10-second ETR, right? Of course, I expand on it and I contract on it depending on the length of time of my training or who's in the room. So what is that story that you have? What are your accolades, your credentials, the things that you want to share with your audience to show them that you are the expert that can train them on this? And I'm not talking about your degrees and your 20-year history of every single thing you've done, right? But specifically your ETR, especially as it relates to whatever the topic is that you're teaching and training, right? So today I'm talking about winning workshops. So I used some examples of talking on seminars, running workshops when I was a financial advisor, doing lunch and learns, right? I used examples that solidify my expertise for this specific topic of teaching and training about workshops and workshop delivery. When I'm doing my training about my book, I'm very specific about bringing in examples of having written my book when I was a financial advisor, right? And how that book, that very first book that I used, it doubled my income. It helped me get free media and publicity, right? It helped me so much so, the results were so transformational that I could not teach this to other people. So I share my credentials as it relates to the topic that I'm teaching, right? So this is not your 20-year biography of every single thing you've done that makes you an expert. It's about the very specific things that bring credibility to the table for what you're teaching about that day. This could also be a place where you potentially share experiences or social proof or client proof of people that you've helped do the same thing. I use some of the money examples, right? Where the very first time I taught a week-long training using all of these tools that I'm teaching you today, I was able to make $21,000 in 5 days. I held a 5-day training, enrolled 14 people, right? At $1,500 a pop. There was my 5-figure income in 5 days. So think about the examples that you can be using. You'll have a generic earn the right story, and you'll also maybe have some smaller ones based on the topic that you're training on that day, right? And so what do you think the purpose is for your ETR? Right? If you kind of popcorn out some ideas, if you know, what do you think, why is it important to be able to tell people all of your credentials and summarize why you are the expert, right? It's to do things like obviously position you as an expert, but it's to solidify your credibility, right? To let people know that they're in the right room. It gives people a little bit of some insight into maybe your values. It lets them see you not just as the business person, but as a human, right? I bring my traveling lifestyle into my ETR because that's important for me. I want to work with people who value a freedom-based lifestyle business. So by me even though I'm breaking it down for you right now, when I share that in my opening introductory piece, you can get a little bit of a sense of who I am and what makes me tick, and whether or not you feel like you can relate to me as a trainer, right? So your community, your people, your tribe will be connected to you by this earn the right story that you tell at the beginning of your workshops and your trainings, right? So make sure that you're telling great stories about yourself that relate to the topic that you're teaching. So what do you think your declaration is for this secret? We are at secret 6, the ETR, and I want you to declare this, write this one in the chat. I create credibility with my ETR. That's your declaration. And I love that piece. That one's one of my most fun ones. It teaches people and it gives them the possibility, right? It creates hope in the minds of your audience. So I create credibility with my ETR. Thank you, Anjays. Woo woo! Give yourself a high five. You are an excellent trainer. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to number 7, and then we just have a few more and we're gonna wrap up. So number 7 is, write this down, WIIFM. It's the radio station all your audience wants to hear about, right? Do you like my radio voice? So the WIIFM, the what's in it for me, right? This is, again, one of the biggest mistakes that I see trainers making is they start their whole presentation going on about them. Yes, you have to tell about yourself in your ETR, but your main goal is to let your audience know what it is that they're going to be learning, right? Why this topic matter is important to them, right? Why and what types of goals and results could they achieve by being here and participating, right? So at the beginning, you'll remember I talked about earning multiple figures in a short amount of time by learning these skills, right? Learning the skills of better training, better teaching. It's about creating courses, programs, workshops, and seminars and talks that allow you to teach what you love and make good money doing it, right? Telling your story and not having it be all about you. Yes, it is a bit of a fine balance. And when we can just make sure we're always tying back that really critical piece to that, and it's a great point, is tying it back, right? Going, I'm doing these great things, but I struggled, right? It's that I'm like you. Like if you're struggling right now, it happened to me. And then you say, and through these skills that I'm going to teach you today, I was able to overcome that struggle, get to the top of that mountain. I always imagine my story as 2 mountain peaks. If you've ever been to my book coaching training, I teach storytelling on day 5. It's coming up in 2 weeks too, by the way. So if anybody wants to participate in that, there'll be links to that. But it's that double peaked mountain. You show your audience the possibility of where they could be through your story. And then you share with them that it wasn't rosy. It wasn't all rainbows and unicorns and glitter the whole time, right? But that through learning these skills that you're going to teach them, you were able to overcome that problem. And if you can do it, they can do it. That's the tie back. If I can do it, you can do it. That's the perfect tie back statement that you want to have at the end of every ETR. It's about bringing it back to them. Like, you got this. I'm going to give you the skills. I'm going to support you, give you the accountability, give you the framework, give you the step-by-step, right? Give you the training. So you end your ETR with it, bringing it back to them and what they're going to be learning. So that's a great point that you made, Latarna. Thank you for bringing that up. So the things that your WIIFM section really talk about is why should your audience be there, right? What is it that they're going to learn? What are they going to get out of it? What are the results that they might get in exchange if they implement and action the items that they learn in the training? because you'll remember and you'll know if you come to a lot of my trainings, it's always about what can you do and take into action leaving the training, right? It's not just about coming to this training and spending 45 minutes to an hour with me and then shuffling your notes away in a notebook and never looking at them again, right? It's how can you action these items and implement a few of these things? And maybe you don't do all of them in your very next training, but maybe you start with, okay, from now on, no matter what, I'm going to start every single talk with 2 enrolling questions, right? How can you slowly add all of these components in to become a better and better and better trainer? So you engage your audience and keep them coming back for more. What are your audience going to get for their exchange of either time or money, right? Because maybe the training that you're doing isn't a free one like I am. Maybe they've spent money to be at one of your trainings. So you especially want to nail the WIIFM section for somebody who's paid for one of your trainings. But I personally think the exchange of time for somebody coming is just as important. So I'm always making sure that I let people know, here's what you're going to learn. And here's my commitment to you, that I'm going to show up and I'm going to deliver the best I can, right, in the time that I have, so that you can take some juicy golden nuggets away and go and implement them and action them in your business to get better results. That's my biggest commitment to my audience, right? So so think about when you're doing your WIFM is, what are the benefits of, in this case, becoming a great trainer? What's your topic matter, right? What are the benefits for you, Andres, for learning how to better speak conversational Spanish, right? If it's for travelers or whoever it is that you decide you want to work with, right? So who is it that you want to serve? What is it that you're trying to teach them? And what are the benefits they're going to get from learning that? And that's really what the WIIFM is really all about. It's a little bit less about, I talk about, sure, I'm going to teach you nine strategies, like 9 secrets, 9 keys to better workshops, to winning workshops. But I'm also teaching you the why it's important, right? So that you understand it's not just about the secrets, it's about why it's important for you, what it's going to do for you, and the results for your business. If you can get on the other side of webinars that might have crickets or might not get people to say yes to working with you, right? So that's number 7. So your declaration for secret number 7 is, type this in the chat right now. I tell the audience what's in it for them. I tell the audience what's in it for them. That is your declaration for number 7. Awesome. So how many of you are learning a little bit here today, right? You've got, I've added a few little tips in here. We've got some juicy nuggets. We've gone through the being authentic, right? Secret number 1, being authentic. Secret number 2, standardizing your introduction so you're not freaking out and getting scared. We're talking about the 2 enrolling questions. Thank you, Barry, for participating. I appreciate you. And Latara and Andres, everybody. Yes, thank you, which is secret number 4. Say thank you and acknowledge your audience. Number 5, for participating and doing what you ask them to do and staying engaged, right? Number 6 was earn the right. Number 7, what's in it for me? WIIFM. And Latara teaches about marketing. Latara, I don't remember exactly. I know you've got lots. I know you also help people with summits. Like there's a few things. We have some crossover for sure, the 2 of us. We still need to get on a call and talk about all that. There's probably lots of room for collaboration, you and I. And I think Barry is also doing something as it relates to marketing. So I love that. I love when all the marketers come. I learn so much from other marketers. It's just like, I totally am all about the collaboration over competition. Everybody does it a little bit differently. I love learning from my other marketing peeps. And I hope they learn a few things from me too. I'm always kind of gleaning, and my motto in that is harvest the best and throw away the rest, right? Let's figure out what we can use that resonates and lands with us, which kind of circles right back to that number 1, right? Be authentic. So I take what feels authentic for me and I incorporate it into my trainings and I bring it back to my students. So I'm always doing that. And I love that I like to foster that, a community of camaraderie and collaboration over competition for sure. Okay, so let's do secret number 8. So we're almost at the top. Yay. Secret number 8 is to use accelerated learning and experiential training. So if you're in the world of online training at all right now, you'll know that gone are the days really where you can host some sort of an online course where you just give somebody a username and a password and you let them into that portal where it's just a bunch of videos, right? And a bunch of lessons and maybe some handouts. Because what happens when you give your audience that? A whole lot of nothing usually, right? I call it shelf help. It sits in the digital shelf, collecting dust. I'm guilty of buying those programs myself too, right? How many of you will admit you've bought a couple programs that might be sitting in the archives in your computer somewhere, not getting used? And the key to the wealthiest trainers and the trainers who are making the biggest impact and the biggest difference in the lives of their clients is to create experiential learning for your students, to create workshops and trainings that help people get better results by getting them into action, by getting them to participate. So Barry says, absolutely, she's there's some shelf help going on in your world. Absolutely, I've done it myself. I probably have dozens. In fact, I think when I was about to do a speaker training and I was pulling out all of my resources I had on speaker training. And I realized I've actually bought 3 speaker training programs from 3 different trainers because I hadn't even remembered I bought the other 2. Like I would just buy the next one because I'm like, oh, like somebody resonates with me. They give a really great irresistible offer. And of course I'm a marketer. So I'm a big sucker for the marketing people who give a great offer. So I'm definitely a buyer. So it's really important that you use experiential learning, you use accelerated learning, right? If you want people to keep coming back and learning from you, and it's not only coming back, but moving down that path, right? Yes, no problem, Holly. It's nice to have you here. And that's fine. There will be
Thank you.
there will be a replay. I'll tell everybody how they can get it at the end of the training for sure. So here's a saying that I learned when I first learned whole idea of experiential learning. It was really kind of a game changer for me because I was working with an organization. It was actually one of the ones when I very first dived into this world of coaching and teaching and training. It's where I learned about my book coaching, my book coach, where I hired a coach to write and publish my very first book. So they used this accelerated learning model, which I just found fascinating, where they were constantly asking us to do things. Have you ever been to a live event where they're like, turn to your neighbor, give them a high five and say, you are an excellent trainer, right? It was like one of those where literally they got your energy up. They shifted the state in the room constantly. You were standing up all the time. It's a little bit harder to do in an online experience. I do my best by getting you to participate in the chat, by doing visual high fives, a little bit harder to turn to your neighbor, right? Like you're on a Zoom call. But this whole experiential learning model was really fascinating for me because, and the trainer that was teaching us this piece of the model, he said this. So write this down. I really like this. What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. But what I do, I understand. So that just hit home for me, right? What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. But what I do, I understand. So it's this whole idea where they were mixing kind of a blend of NLP and action-based training all into their learning model, because not everybody, would you agree that not everybody learns the same way, right? Some of us are visual learners. That's why I really probably should at some point incorporate at least a little bit of slides. Sometimes I'll share a handout for the visual learners. But when you're speaking your material, when you're sharing visuals, for me, I'll end up, my visuals are more like when I have a copy of my book, I'll hold up my book and point to my book, right? I have my flip chart. People will see me with a clipboard where I have stuff that I write on a clipboard. I'm a little bit more visual that way than running a PowerPoint slide deck. But it was nice to see you, Barry. Thanks for showing up. So when you use tools like visuals, like auditory tools, when you get people into, if you're running a even more experiential workshop, you could get people into breakout rooms. I still go to lots of trainings. When I do my private client trainings, I get them into breakout rooms to go do exercises, so people get to action their items right there in the training, right? So what can you do to turn your workshops and your trainings into an experience for your audience, right? So that it's not just about you talking at the front of the room, but by encouraging people to participate in the chat, to share their feedback, to give themselves an air high five when they do a great job, right? How do you create that experience, that environment where you're creating an experience for your audience versus just being a talking head? So the other thing that I took out of that was they gave a stat, I believe it was, where 80% of people will learn faster, remember more, and have more fun doing it this way, which I always thought was really interesting, because who wants to go to a boring old lecture? I mean, that was like the world of finance, because it was torture. You had to go to those freaking lectures, and it was like, oh my God, I would rather be watching paint dry than anything. I had to sometimes I'd be like slapping myself in the face. I was falling asleep. It was just, right, Latara, you get it? It was torture. And I knew when I found this training model that I'm like, this is for me for sure. Because even in the world of finance, I would try to make it a little bit more fun by putting themes around my finance, right? So how can you make your workshops and your trainings a little bit more fun, and know that by doing this, you're actually helping your audience learn faster and learn more and remember and retain the information better? So I just think that's a win-win-win, right? So pop in the chat, win-win-win, if you agree with me that that's a win-win for you and your audience. Some other ideas, right? They did this a lot. I, of course, I'm not running a room where the volume is muted, but in the live environment, they would often ask us to, repeat after me, or repeat the word, what's the word? And they commanded a response. So there's lots of ways that you can do this, either live or in a virtual training room, that really gets your audience motivated and participated and wanting for more. So that was number 8, folks. Using accelerated learning. So so this is your declaration here for accelerated learning. The more they are doing, the more they are learning. So pop that in the chat. People learn by doing. So you want to get your audience doing things so they remember and experience. It's probably why I'm such an avid note taker. I can literally go, oh, I remember jotting that thing down in the margin. I can literally remember what my notes look like in my head because I was taking notes. Or where oh, I remember highlighting that thing in green, so I'll flip through my notes looking for the green highlighter, right? So we're visual. The more they are doing, the more they are learning. Thank you. Yes, awesome. Thank you, Andres. Okay, so let's take one last bit, and then we are going to wrap up for today, right? So section number, or secret number 9 is control the questions to control the room. So, what does that even mean? Well, in a training something like this, as you can see, I'm the one that's asking all the questions, right? I'm trying to get you participating, but I'm asking you questions so that you pop your answers in the chat, so that you're learning by doing, right? So that you're going to remember, we're going to lock in and we're going to cement some of these action items into your brain. So just like yes, right, Hallie? It makes so much of a difference when you ask people to participate. And I love all the hearts and the liking and the everything else, and everybody's collaborating and playing together. And this is how you create camaraderie with your audience. You make it an experience for people, right? And as far as asking the questions go, it gets people participating, right? And it reinforces all of the things in those first 8 secrets, right? It gets people playing. It gets people having fun. It gets people doing. It gets people remembering. And what I remember my trainers telling me is that bad trainers focus all on them, right? They just love to hear themselves talk. Now, of course, I'm talking and I'm teaching and I'm training, but what I want to hear back is the feedback from the audience, right? I want to know what you're taking out of it. I want to know that, like Holly, when you're like, yes, I can relate, that it lets me know that my training's on point, that it's resonating, right? Imagine how dull this would be for me if I didn't have anything to even, no comments to read in the chat. If all I was doing was giving a canned presentation. It's not only boring for the trainer, it's boring for the students, right? So by you asking questions and encouraging people to raise their hand, to pop their answers in the chat, it's the way that you can move participants through the learning into the doing. Now, you'll also know, if you've been on my trainings with me, that sometimes I will open it up, right? Usually I do this once the recording stops, but I'll often also open up the room to being able to ask questions, right? Asking somebody to go off mute. I do this in my student only trainings all the time, right? It'll be like, go off of mute and ask a question, which for new trainers, this can be sometimes nerve-wracking. Because have you ever worried that somebody's going to ask you a question you don't know the answer to? Right? I used to worry about this all the time when I first started out. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to look like an idiot. Like, what if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to? The thing about being a great trainer is you can do one of a couple of things. Well, first of all, you can decide whether or not you even want to answer the question, right? If you're letting people answer questions, and you might do that in your trainings, in the middle of your presentation, this might be something you're going to cover later, in which case you can deflect or defer the answer to the question, right? So that's one way you can address answering questions, right? The other thing is, if, for example, it's not relevant to this training, you might be able to deflect or defer to, like, hey, this is something I go into, like, we only have as much time as we do today to be able to go through the content we have for today. This is something that we will do in a deeper dive training, right? This might be a way you answer the question. I've also seen trainers do something really, really brilliant, and I've done this myself too, is if one student asks you a question and you're not sure what the answer is, you can open up that question to your whole community and say, does anybody else know the answer to this question? And see what other people's thoughts and ideas are around the question. So I don't want you to ever worry that someone asking questions is a way that you can, derail your training or make yourself look bad. But the best way to do that, if you are a little bit nervous and just starting out, is to let people ask their questions in the chat, or tell people you're going to go back and answer them in the comments in the Facebook community, for example, if you're doing your trainings there, right? Hallie, I need this so bad. It's been a crazy day since so far. Okay. Definitely. I will let you know, Holly, there'll be a recording. I'll let you know how you can grab it. Okay. So if you're still on, if not, I will reach out. All right. So I realize we are top of the hour. We are 3 minutes past 6. So let me just, I'm going to do a quick recap, but as far as the controlling the questions to control the room, right? When someone raises their hand, you've got some options, right? You can deflect and defer. You can answer the question if you feel like it's appropriate, and you can also allow other people to share. And sometimes other people in your community come up with really great answers. You'll be surprised sometimes at the ideas that come out of letting people contribute and share in the answering of questions. So controlling the room to controlling the questions to control the room. So that's your declaration, right? I control the questions. I control the room. It's your training. It's your workshop. It's your seminar. You are the leader. You control the room. So make sure you do that by controlling the questions that are getting asked. Right. Whew. That was a lot. That was 9 whole steps, right? So raise your hand if you learned something here today. Are you excited that you're going to take away? Tell me one of those 9 secrets, or maybe if you have more than one, but what's the number one thing you're going to take away from those 9 secrets that you're going to implement into your workshops and your trainings going forward, right? I want to know, because what I loved about when I learned this training is just the kind of the psychology behind it all, right? Understanding that doing these things really is a way that you can move people down the path to create a world-class training that not only helps your students learn more, it helps them have fun, it helps build community, it helps build know, like, and trust. It gets them connected to you in a way that just running PowerPoint slides doesn't. And truly, really, it moves them down the path to working with you and becoming a client. So I love, yes, Andrea says the introductory questions, the story, controlling the questions, interacting with the participants. Yes, all of those things, yes, are very, very, very important. And I'm glad that you're learning, and I hope that you implement these. And, at the end of the day, the benefits of being able to train and run your programs and your workshops and seminars like this are really, really, really invaluable. Right? If you want people taking another step, they need to trust you. You need to get them in the habit of taking another step. Right? When you're asking them to pop their answer in the chat, when you're asking them to raise their hand, when you're asking them to do these things, then it's almost natural that when you ask them to take another step with you, that they're more likely to say yes. Would you not agree that that might be true? Right? So my next step, and the question that I have for you, is if you want to take another step, I'm going to include this recording that we did today inside of my free new community on School. So I've been talking about this over the last couple of weeks. It is officially open for business right now. I am going to be slowly, sorry, Andres, I know I just coerced you to get on Facebook, and I'm going to be moving some of my stuff from Facebook over to this new community. But you're learning all of these things that sometimes as an entrepreneur, we need to pivot, right? We need to move when the community is moving. And at this point on Facebook, my own content inside of my own group is really having, I'm struggling for my stuff to get seen, even by my own private group community members. So I'm going to be shifting my entire community over to School over this next month. And I'm super excited to invite you to come over there. It's where all of the trainings are going to be housed. And in fact, I might do a quick sneak peek of it for you right now. If I know we're a little bit past the top of the hour, if you can stay, great. I'd love to share it with you. I'm just going to open up my School community right now, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm just going to get the window open so I'm not toggling through tabs while I have it open here. But let me go to okay, open. Let's go. Da, 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 da. La, 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 la. There we go. So this is my brand new community on School, the Influential Entrepreneur, my Facebook group is officially going to be moving over here to the School platform. So if you're not available, or if you don't know about the School platform, it's a newer community. And it's what I love about School is that not only can I house my community here, right, where we can talk, and as you can see, there's only one post. It's the very first post. It's literally that brand new. I have 3 members right now that have just, I allowed in to test and make sure all of the links and things were working. I've got 6 people that I've invited that memberships are pending, and you guys are going to be the next ones that I'm inviting here to come and check it out. But what I've done is I've created a really big classroom full of resources to be able to help you move your business forward, right? From my 30-day marketing blueprint mini course, which I'm going to be starting up really soon, that I'm going to be going through literally 1 lesson a day for 30 days to be able to get your marketing roadmap ready, done, and organized so that you know exactly who you are trying to serve, how you help them, and all of the assets that go along to create your marketing plan. I've got my profitable and recession-proof programs, my community building module, which is all about starting your own vibrant community, whether you choose to do it on School or on Facebook or on another platform. It doesn't matter. It's all about how to build a community and foster those relationships so you can move your community down the path to working with you, right? I've got content about email marketing, my book training. I've created a Read and Grow Rich book club where I'm doing a book a week. All of the training call recordings will be housed here as well. So every single time I do a recording like this, it'll be housed in the training call recording section. So you'll remember last week was the Shine workshop. So today into this training, we'll pop this 9 secrets to winning workshops training. It's going to come right here into the training call recording section. You can access it for free anytime. Right? I've got the trainings I did in January, as well as my holiday giveaway training from December. They're all loaded in here and ready to go. So you'll be able to pop in, you'll be able to play, you'll be able to go through all of the trainings that are living inside of the community already. And what I'm really excited about is that it's community, it's classroom, and it's the calendar all in one place. So now, I mean, a lot of you have been showing up and coming onto the trainings, and I'm super excited to have you, but now it's going to be a one-stop shop. You'll know where all the trainings are happening, whenever they're happening. You won't have to think about where to go to figure it all out. It'll all be housed in one space. Another part I really love about School, which I'm excited to implement, is these leaderboards. So I just talked about that today, running experiential, right? Trainings, running accelerated learning trainings. And a big part of experiential training and accelerated learning is gamification, being able to make your trainings fun. And what I love about the School platform is they have leaderboards. Right? So as you work your way through the leaderboards, I'm going to unlock extra special bonus trainings. There's going to be ways to get free calls with me. And as you move through all of these levels in the community, you'll be able to unlock amazing trainings that are going to help you grow your business. They're going to help you get better results for yourself and for your clients. And I can't wait to share all of it with you. So let me grab the link for the community right now. And I should have had that ready, but I didn't. Sorry about that. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to stop share and I'm going to pop this into the chat. And if you'd like to join me on School, I'd love to have you. Totally free community, chock full of resources, full ChatGPT library of all my best prompts on how to unlock the power of ChatGPT as a tool for your business. My best Canva templates. I've got some guest expert trainings in there. It's going to be just a plethora of resources to help you grow a big, badass, amazing business using all the tools and trainings that I've been accumulating over the years and bringing back into my communities, what's working right now to get you on the cutting edge of your marketing, to up-level your authority and expert positioning using your book, using speaking, and using teaching and training to really amplify your own results and the results of the clients that you're working with. So I thank you for today's training, or I thank you for being here for today's training. It's always a pleasure working with you, and stay tuned for next week Next week's training is going to be juicy. It'll be just be a play on this. Now that you have your winning workshop design, I'm going to teach you how to go and fill that workshop, your first or next 100 leads into your workshop. That's the training coming up next week. I can't wait to see you there. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, stay positive.